We've got a very big week coming up for Terra Luna Classic, and it might not be due to the SEC. Now that's the good news. The bad news is it's gonna be a big week for Terra Luna Classic due to Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve here in the United States. Yes, we've got another interest rate decision coming up. Now, a lot of analysts right now believe that this is going to be a good week for Terra Luna Classic and cryptocurrency. We're going to discuss why the analysts in the cryptocurrency market agree on this consensus estimates for the overall stock market and macroeconomic environment. They're also in agreement on this. So I'm going into this week with a very positive attitude, knowing that Gary Gensler and the SEC could come around and destroy my faith, knowing that Jerome Powell could sideswipe me and hit me across the side of the head. But regardless, you got to stay positive if you expect to reach a positive outcome. So we're going to discuss why, and of course, welcome to Lunc Update, your source for the latest news and insights on the Luna cryptocurrency. Stay up to date with our in-depth analysis, expert insights, and up-to-the-minute news. Subscribe now to stay ahead of the curve in the world of Luna. The SEC is coming after Binance Coinbase. It's coming after all exchanges and all cryptocurrencies right now. Be as safe as possible. Don't let the exchange go bankrupt. Don't let the exchange kind of halt your withdrawals and so on. Now, guys, we got something to discuss, and I've read several good articles this morning so far. We're not going to be quoting those articles. They basically all say the same thing. And that is that cryptocurrency could rebound this week, and cryptocurrency could have a very nice week. Based on the interest rate decision here in the United States, the interest rate consensus right now is 5.25%. Why is that important? Because that is zero change from the previous 6 weeks, the previous reading at 5.25%. That means we will have no interest rate hike for the first time in a very long time. Now, let's discuss why that's important for Terra Luna Classic. Before we jump into some of the numbers that kind of go to show you that we are doing exactly what we are supposed to be doing, especially during these, volatile times when people are concerned about the future of crypto as a whole, but not necessarily as concerned about the future of each individual project. With zero interest rate hike, that indicates that what the Federal Reserve has done so far could be working or have worked to reduce the inflation rate here in the United States. Now, are we paying cheaper prices than we were a year ago? No, we are still paying higher prices than we were from the elevated prices that we were paying, and it's still very expensive, right? I'm sure you guys are feeling that all across the world. It's not just here in the United States, but with inflation falling to a level that apparently consensus estimate views as well enough, we may not have to raise interest rates even further. Now, I would have guessed there was gonna be no interest rate hike at the previous announcement. I was wrong. Okay, Jerome Powell has stated in the last 2 addresses or the last 2 press conferences that he is willing to do whatever it takes to get this inflation rate back down to that 2% target rate. He's willing to do whatever it takes somehow. I mean, you guys can go to a restaurant, right? They're understaffed, and it's just terrible conditions. Anytime you go out to eat, you're waiting a very long time, sometimes more often than not poor service, because nobody is willing to work. Yet Jerome Powell constantly quotes the unemployment rate here in the United States as being the best that it has ever been. I think it's nonsense, but nonetheless, it's one of the factors that they use to determine whether or not to raise or lower interest rates. Now, Terra Luna Classic will absolutely be affected, or should, logically speaking, absolutely be affected in a positive way. Because anytime you raise interest rates, right, you give somebody an alternative. Now, if you can make a guaranteed 5, 6, 7% at the bank, or you can risk your money in something like Terra Luna Classic and make 10, maybe 20% on an annualized basis, overwhelming majority of people are going to choose the guaranteed investment. It's just the way that it is. Now, if interest rates steady off, or if interest rates plateau, or even soon hopefully begin to decrease, all of a sudden, that guaranteed interest rate of the bank turns into 4%, 3%, 1%, 0.5%. Now, if you're faced with a decision to invest in something and make 0.5% annualized return, or you can go risk your money and make a 20% annualized return, of course, you're going to be much more tempted to risk your money once again. That is why we constantly quote risk-on risk-off environments in the cryptocurrency space. Knowing that cryptocurrency is a very risky asset, especially with the SEC targeting all of these cryptos and all of these crypto exchanges right now, it increases the level of risk. Of course, if you're buying in at these lower prices, it does increase the potential reward, but nonetheless, the risk is there, and you cannot forget about that. So guys, if we are looking to Terra Luna Classic having a good week, it could absolutely be due to Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve coming up on Wednesday, times to look forward to Wednesday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We're going to see whether or not interest rates have plateaued. If they have, this is a very strong sign moving forward. But we need to wait until 2:30 Eastern Time for the Jerome Powell press conference, when he fields all of those questions, and kind of gives you an extra insight into what the Federal Reserve is deciding to do. If they feel very confidently that inflation is down, what they're doing is working and interest rates are basically going to plateau now, and we're not going to see any more hikes. I believe we could see an environment that flourishes for cryptocurrency. I almost called him a name. Don't call him a name until that guy Gary Gensler decides to creep around the corner, come out of the shadows again, and all of a sudden just rain destruction with more of his regulation that he's helping retail investors with. So we got a lot to look forward to this week. I want to know plain and simple down in the comments below. Is Jerome Powell going to raise interest rates, or are we finally stuck at that 5.25 level, plateaued and nothing but good news ahead? What do you guys think down in the comments? That's all for today's update on Luna cryptocurrency. We hope you found our analysis and insights valuable. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more updates on Luna and other exciting blockchain projects. And as always, thanks for tuning in to Lunc Update. We'll see you in the next one.